Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. I'm Coach Joy, and it is a gorgeous 7:30 a.m. morning here in San Diego. And I don't know why, but my eyes just popped open at 5:30 in this morning, and I literally jumped out of bed, and I've been super inspired ever since. Good morning, Sherry. How are you? Just feeling super inspired to talk with you guys. And a lot of it is because of you guys with your messages and your DMs. I talk with so many of you on Instagram every day and on TikTok. And I love hearing what you're going through and what questions and concerns you have. And it's definitely always very inspiring and helpful for me to be able to come on and share information and teach you guys. Sherry, can you hear me okay? I got my headset on, and sometimes I'm a little iffy on whether or not it has good sound or not. So if you could let me know, I'd appreciate that. So first of all, I'd like to welcome those of you that are joining my community right now. Thank you so much for being here. I know a lot of you have been drawn to me because of my egg reel, and I'm so grateful for you coming in and having that curiosity. Good morning, Rebecca. Good morning. How are you, friends? I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much for joining my community so that you can learn the truth behind thyroid, everything, thyroid conditions, and I can help guide you and teach you of what's really going on that's causing your sickness and your symptoms. If you don't know me, I struggled with hypothyroidism and Hashimoto's for a decade, and I was just like you guys. I did literally anything and everything I could. I doctor hopped. I've been to so many primaries through my insurance, tons of doctors, paid thousands out of pocket. And I've tried a lot of different medications. I thought at one point that low-dose naltrexone was going to be my magical savior pill. And I was paying $100 a month on that. Didn't do shit for me. And it was about, 10 years in when I was just done. And I couldn't take it anymore. And I just decided to give up. And I was like, fuck it, you can have me, kill me, I don't care. I'm just done with this fight. I completely lost my hope. I completely lost my way. I had young children. I couldn't be a mom. I couldn't be a good wife. I felt like a total failure in life. My health was so bad. I couldn't work anymore. I couldn't drive anymore. I didn't feel comfortable going to the store because my panic attacks were so severe. It was terrible. It destroyed my life. And thanks to some amazing circumstances, I was able to pull myself out of my misery and my self-pity, smack myself around, get my shit straight. And it was once I hit that wall. If you're on my email list, you got my email yesterday of, you're ready when. And you're ready when you're just sick of this shit. You're sick of the weight gain. You're sick of the panic attacks. You're just over it all. And so I hit that wall, and I started doing a lot of testing on myself, and I slowly uncovered all of my root causes. And as I pieced everything together, paying hundreds of dollars out of pocket, literally directly pulling my own labs from the lab to me, it was incredible. And I learned so much about why I was actually having every single symptom and why I was sick. And then through just all of my studies and schooling and everything I learned on my own, I've been able to reverse my hypothyroidism and my Hashimoto's. And now I became a coach so that, number one, I can support the thyroid community, because there's just too many women out there that are sick and struggling and wish they had a friend and someone they could talk to and help and guidance and more importantly, want to get their health back. And this is a really personal calling that I have in life because, like I said, it was so much of who I used to be. So, good morning. Hi, honey. So, I just wanted to tell you guys, I'm so happy that I'm having so much success with my egg reel, because it's one of those pieces, you guys. There's a lot of pieces with thyroid illness that you have to pull and bring together in order to completely, get your reversal like I have. But you can do it too, and I can totally teach you and guide you, especially in my program, exactly what you need to do. But this eating eggs was one factor that I had no idea would make such a big difference in my diet and how I felt every single day. And when I cut eggs out, I was so surprised at how such a simple food elimination really gave me a lot of relief when it came to my digestive problems. Hi, Shan. Thank you for being here. So I'm so grateful that a lot of you are messaging me and requesting information on the egg reel. And I follow up with you and say, like, what'd you think? Did you have any aha moments? Some people even actually get upset about it. I didn't want to cut eggs out of my life for I fought it, you guys, for years. I even had my doctor telling me, you have really weird high cholesterol and this isn't normal. Do you eat eggs every day? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, well, you should stop. And I was like, no, they're my favorite breakfast. I eat my avocado toast. I have my scrambled eggs. And I completely ignored him. And I had another girl in Canada who was like, she was a thyroid warrior too. She's like, you might want to cut out eggs. And I was like, no. And so I just completely was stubborn about it, because we have an emotional connection to our eggs. We just love them. They're so delicious. And some people have even been messaging me saying, oh my gosh, I don't even know what to eat now because I eat so many eggs. I just eat eggs for breakfast. That's my go-to. It's my staple. My staple protein is what they say. And I'm like, I get it. I get it. It sucks. But I've been able to I eventually listened to my doctor after the second time of him telling me my cholesterol was really bad. And I was like, fine. And so the benefits were I had a lot less inflammation in my digestive system. And a lot of people don't realize this. Yeah, yes, there is. A lot of people don't realize this, but eggs are a high inflammatory food. They actually cause mucus in your intestinal tract. And the other thing that the majority of thyroid sufferers, if you're new to me, you might not realize that I talk a lot about pathogens, which are viruses and bacteria that are causing a lot of your symptoms and illness, is eggs feed viruses. So if you requested the information from me, you got a video from me talking all about how eggs feed viruses. And I did a share screen in my video, and I showed a video of how at the lab they literally inject the flu strains, which is a virus, into eggs, and they purposely incubate the viruses in an egg in a refrigerator for 10 days, and they put 10 strains in, and then after a week or whatever, they pull it out, and it has multiplied into the hundreds of thousands. And then they start pulling these little sacs out of the egg that are all super full of mutated and grown viruses. And then that's how they cultivate the flu shot every year. It is disgusting. So if that's what it does in just a simple egg, or you can do that in a petri dish as well, imagine what it's doing in your body. So it totally made sense, and I cut those out. And I hope you guys basically heed this warning and cut those out of your diet as well. But you have to watch out for the hidden eggs, which is mayonnaise and baked goods and stuff too, that can also cause a lot of the inflammation and exacerbate your symptoms. So I wanted to let you guys know that if you have any questions, you're welcome to ask me. But one of the things that I seem to get messaged about frequently, like on a daily basis, of a lot of concern, is nodules. Are any of you struggling? Obviously not you, Troy. Are any of you struggling with nodule cysts or tumors, or even like a swelling in your throat at this time? This is extremely common, and I have a little bit of a soapbox that I get on with this one, especially in my own head. So there's a particular celebrity doctor who he made the rounds on a lot of podcasts, like mainstream health podcasts a few months ago. And he went around and he was talking all about how thyroid sufferers have too much, so good, Rebecca, listen up. How thyroid sufferers have too much iodine in their diet. Has anyone heard this? Has anyone heard a particular celebrity doctor going around talking about this, and how we have to have less iodine in our diet? And he used all the typical fear tactics and scare tactics with all the science and research, he claimed to back it, which, the majority of the time you have to look at who's behind the research. It's just a poor connection. And the majority of the time, the research is funded by the egg industry, and the marketing that has been so successful. Wait, I just got back on the egg. My brain went egg still. Nodules. The iodine industry. So the people that are funding the research behind the iodine and saying that it's so bad, there actually hasn't been much research done technically on iodine since like the 1950s, when they realized that a lot of people were deficient in iodine, and they called it, I think it's the iodine belt. What did they call it? The goiter belt. And then it was like a particular place across the United States that was really sick from iodine deficiencies, and they were all getting swollen necks. And so they're like, oh shit. So they started putting iodine in food, and they noticed that the epidemic of swollen necks was decreasing. And so they're like, oh, we fixed it. And so it's just been kind of like let go since then, except for these celebrity doctors that want to go around and push the too much iodine in our diet theory. And that's exactly what it is. It's just a theory. There's not a lot of research to back this. That's actually good research. That's not, tainted, corrupt, the way I like to call it. So it's actually the opposite. The majority of people that are dealing with thyroid conditions, or just the people in general, are deficient in like everything nowadays. And iodine is a crucial mineral that we need in order to just function. And it's one of those essential minerals that a lot of people are deficient in. And so it can definitely cause a lot of the swelling. That's one reason, okay? Because your thyroid, if you just Google real fast, like what does a thyroid need in order to function, and you'll see that the thyroid needs iodine in order to just do its basic conversions and functions. It is a essential part of your thyroid's function. And so am I saying go out, run out, and just take a bunch of iodine? No. You have to be really careful with minerals. They all are a cascade and blend together. And this particular celebrity doctor that went around saying like, oh my gosh, everyone's getting too much iodine, and thyroid people are at risk. And it was just like, I was so angry at this guy's podcast. I was like yelling at the phone. And he even has like a whole book of how to restrict iodine out of your diet, which could be like so far from what you actually need and just exasperate the situation. So iodine is a antiseptic, and it's like, he even explains it in the podcast. It's like a bleach. It's an antiseptic. That's why like the hospitals use it to be able to clean things prior to cutting your skin open for surgery, or they put it around you when you're giving birth. You know, it is a very powerful antiseptic. So what it does is it kills the pathogens, which are viruses and bacteria that you have in your body. So when you start a iodine regimen, you have to go really slow and you have to build up to it. And it is because it's so powerful when you start taking it. If you don't take it at the proper doses to begin with and slowly build it up in your body, you can actually have such a severe die-off with like detox basically of the pathogens in your body that you can get sick and have symptoms from that. So this is why in my program, I have an entire mineral rebalancing protocol in month 2, where in month 1, we work on gathering a bunch of your tests, which is your hair tissue mineral analysis. We pull your labs. And then in month 2, we're going to go into all the results of your tests. We're going to put together a protocol of what you're deficient in, and we're going to slowly build back your body with your minerals and slowly detox out the metals that you've accumulated. But safe ways you can get iodine in your diet is naturally through food. So one of my favorite foods to be able to get iodine on a daily basis is called Atlantic dulse flakes. So you have to be careful when you're eating foods from the sea, because seafoods are high in iodine, right? But we have such a toxic freaking ocean. So you can't just buy sea kelp and all these different sea-based products just from like anywhere, because then you're also getting kind of all the junk in the ocean and you're consuming more toxins that way. So the coast of Maine is a really clean area, and there's a brand that I've been using in particular called Ocean's Balance, and they have a really great line of sea-based foods, and they have an Atlantic dulse flakes, and you can just go off of the dosage on the bag, which is like, I think it was 2 teaspoons or 1 teaspoon a day, and I put that in my smoothies, and you don't even taste it. And it's a really great way to start including iodine in your diet without going into like detox mode, without going into iodine overload and just freaking your body out. And that's one of the other things that this celebrity doctor said. He was like, you know, these people come in my office and they've been like overdosing themselves, and they've been doing high doses of iodine, and their thyroids are all swollen and out of whack. And I'm like, well, yeah, you know, like everything has a moderation. So if you don't have enough iodine, your thyroid's going to wig out. If you have too much iodine, your thyroid's going to wig out. So that's why I say it's like a delicate balance. So one of the other things that is really, good morning, Jess. Good morning, Heather. Thank you ladies for being here. So, I had a girl tell me last night that, hey, what's up everyone? Hi, Heather. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. I just felt like I missed you and I haven't been on in a while, and I just wanted to connect with my community, see how you guys were doing, and just touch base with y'all before we head into the weekend, and I'll be in Familyville. So I was just talking about nodules. I'm getting concerned because I get so many messages from women who are dealing with swollen necks and nodules. And it's something that I don't feel like is being addressed properly in the medical system. And there's different reasons why this is going on, and I just wanted to discuss this. So do any of you have nodules going on right now, or cysts or tumors that you're worried about and you're battling? Some people, they're so swollen they can't even really swallow properly. So I was just discussing iodine and iodine deficiency, and how this is just one factor that could be causing nodules, but it's not smart to just start taking iodine because it's super powerful. So if you're worried about so like I take Atlantic Dose Flakes. I use Atlantic Dose Flakes every morning. You'll have to go back really fast to the beginning and just listen to all of that. I don't want to repeat everything that everyone else just already heard. So I'm going to go into the second part of nodules, cysts, and tumors. So our body is amazing, you guys. And there's one thing that I've learned in my extensive testing and extensive learning on myself. If you're new to my community, I just want you guys to know that I am not at all on board with what the mainstream teaches about what is really what causes thyroid conditions. Okay, I like to make this known because some people kind of think what I have to say is maybe like out there or weird, but I can tell you that my viewpoints are all based on actual test results that I have seen from my own body and what my body told me was wrong with me. So number one, I do not believe the autoimmune theory. Okay, I know this one's a hard one for everyone to wrap their head around, because this is exactly what we're told is happening to us and why we have thyroid conditions, right? We're told our body's attacking themselves. I think this is total and utter bullshit. And I can say that so powerfully and so confidently because I've proven it to myself, again, through my own testing. And oh my gosh, Jessica. So if you want to join me live and jump in on this conversation, feel free to send me a button. Let's see. Rebecca says, I just checked my Dulce Flakes and they are organic from me. Good. Do you use those every day? Like, I'm curious how you integrate them in your foods. Yeah, so I really like the company Ocean's Balance. And what's funny is everyone gets a little freaked out by like foods from the sea, and they're like, ew, that's gonna taste weird and it's gonna be so gross. And they, they have kind of a funky green look, but honestly they have like no flavor. And when you put it in a smoothie, you have so much flavor from like the berries and stuff that you put in there that it, like, whatever mild taste it may have, you can't even taste them. And it's just packed full of nutrients. So the next thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about was the calcium prisms that our thyroid so when our thyroid is struggling with a pathogen infection, it is amazing, you guys. I absolutely believe that our thyroid has its own immune system and that it is smart. It's extremely intelligent. Oh no, the sun's coming through. Let me see if I can just scoot over here. Whoa, look at my eyes. That was crazy. Hang on. Let me just move over. I'm sitting under my favorite olive tree outside, and they just built this massive complex behind me and took away my beautiful morning view. Okay. No, I don't look like a crazy person. Okay, so where was I? Sorry, I totally lost my train of thought. I do believe that our thyroid can become under attack by a pathogen or a virus. And it's so intelligent that it has the ability to try to go out and trap and encapsulate the pathogens that are attacking it. And it does that by building a calcium prism. And so if you think about it, it's like a little ball, right? And our bodies are so incredible. Our immune systems are so incredible and knows exactly what to do and how to help us. And so a lot of times, so the body will be like, okay, like I go into like Movieville, honest, in my mind, you know, like little superheroes with their ninjas. And they're like, all right, guys, listen up. Our thyroid's struggling. There's an invader over there and we have got to get it under control. It's hurting us and we don't like it. So team A, I want you to go around to the back. Team B, I want you to go to the front. And we're going to trap it and we're going to build a prison around it. We're going to try to contain it. Okay. And basically that's what they do. And so they'll pull calcium from other places in your body and they'll go and they'll build these little balls, calcium prisms around the invaders, and they'll successfully trap a lot of these invaders. And that's why you'll feel like a little ball on your thyroid. And even if like you push on it, you'd be like, ooh, you know, and it's like a little, that's a nodule, right? Or like a cyst. So it's really, really neat. But the problem with this is your body's pulling calcium from other parts of, you know, where it needs calcium. And now, and if you're not getting enough calcium already from your diet, then you could go into a calcium deficiency even more if you already are. What'd you say? But your command center is in your brain. What? We have different command centers. I believe that we have different command centers. And our immune system is actually, I believe that there's different sections of it all over our body keeping watch on us. We have some cells in our bloodstream. We have some cells in our glands. We have some cells in our different organ systems. And it's like always just out there keeping an eye and keeping our systems in check, trying to keep us in homeostasis so we're alive and we can function properly. And it's amazing. So you tell your subconscious what to think about your health. So where was I? Oh yeah, the calcium prisms. So that's like part 2 of what's going on with the swollen neck, the nodules, and the cysts and the tumors, is your body is actually fighting its ass off and trying to protect you from the invaders or the pathogens that are in your body. And so you might ask, well, what are these pathogens? What are these invaders? For myself, it was the Epstein-Barr virus. I found that super high. I had crazy high antibodies for a dormant EBV infection. So when you do a test to see if you have an EBV infection, there's 3 different antibodies that it tests for. And an antibody basically just means like your body's sending a signal of things that it has out in your body that are circulating to protect you, or it did in the past. So I was showing high antibodies of a dormant infection. And it also told me on the test that my infection stemmed back to my birth and that I was infected from my mother as a newborn. And so that means that I've always had this in my system. But what happens when you have a virus dormant in your system is it doesn't always necessarily like show up and appear until it has that signal of weakness in your immune system. They are waiting for you to be burned out, stressed out, sick, pregnant, giving birth, or on your period, because those are all times when your immune system is down and it has an opportunity to attack. So I believe that when I first started getting really sick from my hypothyroidism, I had just gone through a very traumatic time in my life, and I was extremely depressed. I was extremely stressed for months on end. I wasn't eating properly, so that definitely led into some mineral or nutrient imbalances, and I was just like a total shit show. And it was just within a couple of months that I started having out of the blue symptoms. And like a month or two after all these symptoms started, and I was like, what the hell are these? I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism. So, nodules, cysts, and tumors. Yeah, that's all I wanted to cover on that. Do you guys have any questions? Does anyone? I was just going through my feed. My feed sometimes gets stuck. It doesn't scroll. So if you guys say something, I can't see it. So the other thing that I get a lot of messages about is I see you guys just like trying so hard to eat healthy, like you go to the gym and you're working your asses off, you know, even if you're dealing with fatigue. And I hear the frustration, and I'm told the frustration of like, I'm doing everything right. Why can't I lose weight? What is going on with me? This sucks. And it's really sad because it turns into like a personal attack. Like I can't do this. All right, Jess, let's see. Stomach issues, even when eating or trying to eat. Can you tell me a little bit more? Like acid reflux. Hey D, what's up, girlfriend? So there's when it comes to thyroid nutrition and thyroid eating, it's very particular because there's so much going on. And if you have certain foods in your diet that are high inflammatory, I made an IGTV a few weeks ago, so you just have to go through my IGTVs. But I posted on the the top 6 foods to avoid for eating properly for a thyroid diet. Hey, what's up? So if you are looking for information on, I just need some guidance on my diet. Like, I don't even know what to eat. Everything hurts me. I'm having stomach issues. I would suggest going back to my IGTV and just watching the top 6 foods to avoid and why. But stomach issues. I'm glad you brought that up, Jess. Stomach issues are huge, aren't they? Oh my gosh, dude. Like, eating sometimes just feels like death or something, because your symptoms like right after could be so bad. 1 second. I definitely had that too. I would eat and I would immediately feel just yucky. And I could tell I wasn't digesting my food. And I could tell that I just like something was wrong with me, but I didn't know what. And it seemed like over the years, like when I first was diagnosed with hypothyroidism, I would just react to like dairy and gluten. What's up, NW76297? Thank you all for being here. It was like as I got sicker, my stomach and my eating issues got worse. Do you guys have you noticed that, or are you going through that? It was like, okay, I was reacting to dairy at first, and then and my reactions were just like all in my head. Like, I would get congestion in my nose. I would have puffy eyes, really swollen puffy eyes from dairy. I would have like the in my throat. And when I laid down at night, I was always just coughing. It was like I just coughed myself to sleep every night. And that was like from the drainage. Yeah, Jess, you feel me? That was like from all the drainage from like my sinuses. And it took me a while to, one of the things that you guys really got to get down to is you got to get back in touch with your body. Okay. Like that's me. Heather says that's me exactly. Like a perpetual head cold, right? Literally, I kept Sudafed decongestant and Claritin in my purse. Acid reflux so bad. Oh my God, same coffee nasal congestant. I don't know why. Yeah, it was awful. I lived on Sudafed decongestant and Claritin. Like I literally was like, oh, I don't feel good today. I gotta take my Claritin. I forgot to take my Claritin. So it was like, I was so out of touch with my body at that time. I was in, I just was like eating whatever I wanted. I didn't care. I had all these symptoms and I never ever thought about stopping and being like, well, what the hell could be causing this, you know? And so one of the things that really helped me was food journaling. You gotta like bring it back down and you gotta just like kind of narrow in on like, what the hell is this to this? You know, what could have that been? And I even did all the food allergy tests. I did 184 food allergy tests. I did the skin prick test, and I did the 23andMe. It was like insane. I was trying to figure out what was going on, what I was reacting to. And as I did the allergy test, it got scary and scarier because it was like my allergies, or, you know, they call them allergies, but they don't really think they're an allergy. I remember standing in my kitchen and I had all these tests out in front of me. And like, if I would have listened to all these tests, you guys, I wouldn't have been able to eat shit. Like there was nothing left. It was like, you're allergic to this, you react to that, you react to that. And I'm like, there's no way, there's just no logical way that I'm reacting to all this. Like, what the hell? So I started paying attention to my stomach. And that's when I was like, okay, I'm going to take some enzymes. All right. So if I'm eating and so I eliminated the dairy. First of all, let me go back. I eliminated the dairy and that took away the congestion. That was key number one. It was like instant. The second I stopped eating milk, cheese, milk chocolate, any of those high inflammatory foods, because they're so dairy is so mucus forming, it's insane. So as soon as I cut out dairy, I didn't have to take my Claritin anymore. And then it seemed like a year later, the same thing started back up. And I was like, what the hell is it now? You know, I started having the same congestion and and I was having a conversation and it was like embarrassing to have conversations because I'd be like all the time. So then I started reacting to gluten. Gluten was my next trigger. And so if you think about it, it just all makes sense because they're high mucus forming, high inflammatory. And so I was like, all right, shit. So I cut gluten out, immediately had relief from that. And I was like, okay, there's food number 2. And this is a long time ago too, when I was like, now what do I eat? I was like, what the hell do I eat? There wasn't all these rad alternative brands. So I was like in Starvesville. And so I stopped doing all of the allergy tests and all the testing and everything because it just made me feel worse. It gave me anxiety over like, what the hell can I eat? Like, I remember writing down a list of like, okay, these are all the foods I had to avoid. And I'd go to the store and I'd be like, okay, it says I can't eat that. And then I'd be making a meal. Okay, I can't eat that. And then I was just like, this is so frustrating. I can't eat anything, you know? And it was like from dates to salmon and like everything. It was eliminated from my system and I was so mad. So that's when I was like, all right, I don't think I'm really reacting to all of this food. I think there's something deeper going on. What the hell could that be? Right? So this is when I was in my own, like, I'd cut doctors out of my life and I was doing all my own testing, and I was like a guinea pig. I was guinea pigging it up on myself. So I was like, enzymes. All right, I'm going to start taking enzymes. And I was like, well, I know our body needs enzymes in order to digest our food. So if I'm getting bloating, massive constipation, I look 4 months pregnant, like every night, I'm sitting on the toilet. I bought a squatty potty, which didn't really, I love it, but it didn't like fix the problem. So I was like, cool, enzymes. So I started taking papaya enzymes, and I was like, okay. And then I started learning, oh, there's 10 essential enzymes you need. Cool. And I would buy like the most high quality like enzyme blend I could. And I was taking, it said take 3 pills with each meal. I'm like, cool. So I'm going to take this, and then all of my problems will be solved. Oh, a cute little bug just went on my screen. And then, oh, that's on my hand now. Go away, little guy. Go over there. And then it just seemed like after a month of taking all these enzymes, I started getting sick from it. It said paused. Oh my God, I'm so glad this is resonating with you. Okay, let's talk more. See, this is why I go live, you guys. So I was like starting to get sick from the enzymes, and I would burp after I ate. I would burp like a chalky substance in my mouth, and I was like, ugh, these enzymes are not feeling good, you know? And I was just like, I don't know about these enzymes anymore. It was like my body was telling me, like, you're enzyming me up. Like, this is too much, you know? Hi, Self-Hunter. So I just felt like I was at my wit's end, and I was like, I can't eat anything. And at this time, this was like 3 years ago when I was at my worst, I couldn't eat protein. I couldn't digest protein. Everything that I was normally eating started making me sick. It was like, I made ground beef tacos for dinner. I couldn't eat that. Peanut butter and almond butter, anything nut or seed based was like death to my digestive system. It hurt so freaking bad. Like 1 spoon of peanut butter, and I was like, I'm done. Goodbye. I'm gonna be in the toilet for the next 5 hours. And it was just like, I always had this sensation like I needed to go poo, but I couldn't go poo. Worst pain freaking ever. And it just like destroys your night. You just want to go lay in bed and go to sleep, but you can't go to sleep because you're in so much pain. It's just miserable. It's misery, and it's no way to live. It's a shitty quality of life. And so I basically was like, I threw the enzymes away, and I was like, fuck you. And I threw all the allergy tests away. And so what did I do? I actually, honestly, you guys, was at like a loss with this. And so I was like looking on the internet one day, scrolling, and there was a celery juice challenge, and it was going around the internet. And I was like, what the hell is this, dude? So, since I was like in my guinea pig phase, I was like, I'm going to start trying this out. So I got a juicer on, offer up for like $50. That was brand new, because I was not committed to it. So I'm like, I'm not buying some $200-300 juicer just to try this, you know, out. And so I started celery juicing every morning, and it was insane, the amount of relief that I found on my digestive system within 30 days. But this comes with a warning. So celery juicing is a detox, okay? It's a daily detox. And for those of you that are struggling with weight gain and the inability to lose weight, this also helps with that. Celery juice helps you rebuild a lot of your minerals, particular sodium and potassium. So there's two parts of the stomach problem going on. I guess 3 parts. Number 1, you got to get rid of the trigger foods. If you feel like foods are continuing to trigger, then you got to rebuild your stomach. Our stomach is it's the gateway, right? Everything we eat, everything that goes in our body, it's the gateway to our entire system. Everyone's like, oh, you need gut health. I'm like, bullshit, you need good stomach health, because if you don't have good stomach health first, you're not going to have good gut health, because it comes above it, right? It's the first entrance. So we have multiple blends of acids in our stomach. And when our minerals are out of balance, it goes into low stomach acids. And pretty much freaking everyone, Jess says we should do a 30-day celery juice challenge. I would love that. Yes, please, let's do it. Everyone is low in nutrients. This is another factor of just thyroid illness in general. Everyone is low in nutrients. Basic nutrients for health: potassium, magnesium, sodium, and calcium. Those are the 4 major minerals. If you don't have a proper balance of those 4 major minerals, which most of us don't, because we're freaking low in calcium, our adrenals are our adrenals are in fatigue. Just everything's a shit show. No one has the right amount of salt in their diet anymore. We've been scared off by the industries to even use salt, and so all of these play a key factor into your stomach not having the proper blends to even digest and break down your food. Can you have celery juice if you're on? Absolutely, you can drink celery juice no matter freaking what. So, I started juicing just the basics. Like, Anthony Williams says, just do 16 ounces on an empty stomach. And I was like, okay. So I got me some celery and I started juicing it. And I definitely went through the 30 days of detox. Because remember, it's a gentle daily detox. But when you first start it, it's more than just a gentle detox. It can actually really seriously detox you out, because we all just have such an overload of everything in our systems. I mean, did you see that thing on my story yesterday of how Johnson & Johnson is getting sued for the cancer-causing chemicals just in sunscreen? I mean, we are so overloaded with toxins from everything in our life, not to mention everything we inherit from our moms when we're born, and even their moms, and then all of the toxins in food. So when you start celery juicing, you're going to have some reactions, and it's okay, it's normal. So for me, everyone's reactions are different because everyone's toxin loads are different, right? So for me, I had the typical reaction, which was just having to go to the bathroom. So I would drink 16 ounces at first, like this was first, and then it was almost like it went right through me and I had to go to the bathroom, and it I don't want to get descriptive, but it was fun. So I definitely had a lot of sludge and buildup come out of me those first 30 days. And it was just like that, kind of like the first week. And then as it got out of me, every week it was less, less happening, and then happening. And then I remember by 30 days, it was just basically gone. And after 30 days, I started noticing that my digestive symptoms were gone, or significantly improved. It was like one of these moments where I just went, you know what? Like, I haven't been bloated today. Oh my gosh, I'm not sitting in the toilet for 4 hours tonight. And so I was like, this is kind of cool. Maybe this is why it's like blowing up on Instagram right now. And so I was very encouraged by the fact that I didn't feel like shit every night. And I kept going. And then it just turned into something that I could drink every day and be comfortable with. I didn't, I've been doing it now for like 2.5 years. And I just drink it every morning. And I definitely can say it helps me have a morning poo, but they're not like crazy morning poos like I did at first when I was detoxing. And it feels really good to just be able to have like a normal elimination in the morning, and you move on with your day. Because I don't know about you guys, but I personally hate the way my body feels when I need to poo and I'm constipated and I just feel like, ugh, it's almost like it's like a heaviness that like makes you not feel good. So for me, it's like waking up, I drink my lemon water, and then I'll wait 15 minutes, and then I'll juice, and then I'll have, depending on how I'm feeling, I'll have 16 to 32 ounces. 32 ounces is hard for me to drink because it's so much. I just feel full, but, and I also just like kind of pound it. I like just pounding it and almost like, letting it process, and then I sit and let it process in my system for like 30 minutes, and then I'm usually pretty thirsty like for water, like my body craves water after that, and I'll go back to lemon water and just sip on lemon water like you see I'm doing. So those two hydration techniques really have helped my stomach come back into homeostasis, and I have been able to comfortably start eating again. And this is why I can so confidently look back at those food allergy tests that I was taking that were like, you can't eat anything. And I'm like, that was total bullshit. And I knew it, it was just, I just had to get my system detoxed, back in balance. I pulled my hair tissue mineral analysis test also. Been working with Jess. She was my colleague who pulled it with me. She helped me rebalance a lot of my minerals. Let's see, what do you say? Do you think it also has to do with Hashimoto's? So again, like, I don't believe in Hashimoto's because I don't believe that our bodies attack ourselves. Good morning, Mama Fuji. Cute name. I just don't. I know too much, and I know that there are underlying causes for literally everything. Like, our bodies are not, we're not dumb. Our bodies are the most divine, miraculous, intelligent things that like exist. And I do not believe that our bodies get mistaken and just like start attacking us. If you have high TPO antibodies on a test, thyroid paradoxes, I know that is your thyroid's cry for invasion. And it goes back to the calcium prisms in the nodule that I was telling you guys about. It's your body. Anything that I love antibody tests personally, because I think those are the prime key indicators of what's going on in your system. And so when you pull your antibodies and they're high, a lot of people get upset at this, and they're like, holy shit, my antibodies were so high. Oh my God, what am I gonna do? I gotta get my antibodies down. So you have to understand that antibodies are a sign that you are dealing with infections. Period. They're pathogen infections. They're either viruses or bacteria. So when I get my blood work, or my client's blood work, I look at it very differently than you guys. I go, okay, so this person's thyroid is hyper or hypo. Okay. So this is like a thyroid's cry for help. That's the way I look at it. I don't ever look at thyroid illness as your thyroid is the problem. I look at your thyroid as your thyroid's the victim. And it's all these other things that are happening, and your thyroid's taking the hit. And it needs some help, and it needs some support, okay? So let's go over here and do this testing, and let's go over here and do this testing and figure out exactly what's imbalanced and attacking it. Attacking the whole system, not just it. And so when you look at your testing in this different perspective and you're like, okay, my antibodies are letting me know that something is seriously hurting me. So what am I going to do to address the invader or the pathogen that's actually hurting me? And that's why in my protocol, in my program, almost everything I do is a antiviral, antibacterial, and rebalancing protocol, because I know that we're not just dealing with a low, sluggish thyroid. It's not like, oh, we just got to fix your thyroid. We got to fix everything, you know? It's like, we got to bring back in the nutrients. We have to get the infections under control. We have to be able to get a handle on your mindset too. That has so much to do with this and your spiritual state. We got to get your hope up. And the way that we do that is by, it's like what I told you guys. When I started pulling my tests and understanding and putting the pieces together and seeing like, holy shit, I got a massive E. coli infection. I got a massive streptococcus infection. I got a massive EBV infection. I had SIBO. I had herpes. You know, when you start putting all the pieces together and you're like, okay, so there's all my pathogen infections, so that makes sense. All right. And then you pull your HTMA and you go, holy shit balls. I have no selenium, no zinc, my vitamin D is in my tissues and not in my bones where it's supposed to be. I have no calcium. Oh shit, I'm super high, or I'm super high in aluminum. Wow, that's terrible. So when you start putting all the pieces together, you can comfortably sit back and go, that's why my TSH was at a freaking 10.2. You know, I had this virus attacking me aggressively, causing all these symptoms, and this is going on from that, and these antibodies are this high, and that goes hand in hand with the TSH reading, or the opposite. Okay, my TSH it's super low, you know. I do believe that the hyper and the hypo is an indicator to the strain of virus you're dealing with, not necessarily just that you have all these, you know, you have all these symptoms and you're screwed for life. I know that everything is changeable and our bodies can heal and our bodies can overcome this. But if you don't get down to the root causes of everything going on, which the medical system will absolutely hide and will not tell you, period, end of story. They just want you to think it's your fault, your thyroid's attacking you, your immune system's attacking you. Oh, and it's because your mom has it, your dad has it, your aunt has it, and your cousin has it. So, oh, yeah, that's why you have it. It's your fault. You're in early menopause. It's your fault. See, that's why you have thyroid condition. You're in early menopause. Sucks to be you. Here, you want some pills? You want some pills to fix that? Bullshit. It's all bullshit. So I know this is like very rare, a rare thing for people to hear. I am a very rare coach, and I do know that it is it's hard to wrap your head around this without seeing the evidence from your own body. But that is exactly what I try to help show you guys and help do, especially in my program. And it doesn't, you can't just fix it in like just a few months, especially like for me. I was sick for 10 years, and I'm like 3 years into the recovery side, and I've pretty much fixed the majority of everything. I don't take medication. I think the day I threw away my medication was like probably the happiest day ever. And you know what's been weird is CVS stalks me. They stalk me. I get a freaking text from CVS pharmacy like every day. They're like, your Armour Thyroid is ready. And I'm like, I don't want your Armour Thyroid. Keep that shit. And they'll just mail it to me. So I have a stockpile of thyroid medication in my drawer. And I just kind of look at it like, well, maybe one day something's going to happen, and, you know, this is going to be a blessing to someone else. And so I just hang on to it because I'm like, maybe someone else is going to need this one day. And I don't know. I just have like this weird feeling that I should hang on to it to help someone else one day. So I do, you know, and so being able to not have all the digestive problems that I used to, the fucking fatigue, the anxiety, the panic attacks, the medication. It's just, I've been able to get rid of all of it. And it's such a blessing. And this is why at the beginning of this month, I was meditating, because if you guys don't know, I do that a lot. And it's, I have a lot of messages sent to me in my meditations. I have them about you guys. I have them about my clients. I mean, Jessica, when we were working together, it was insane how many messages I was getting. Like every time we were about to have a client call together, I swear that whole meditation would just be about you. So I really enjoy that I can be in tune with my inspiration, or my, not inspiration. It's that other, I just had a brain fart, you guys, sorry. Intuition, so there it is, intuition. It definitely helps me a lot, and I do believe in it, and I believe in spirit guides. And so at the beginning of this month, I was just doing my normal thing. I was actually working on some hair tissue mineral testing with other clients, who, by the way, were suffering with, okay, you guys want to talk about the head congestion and everything? So I had a person come to me who was literally suicidal, straight up suicidal, because he suddenly started getting congestion in his nose. And I mean, you could hear it when he talked. It just sounded like he has pounds of mucus right here. He couldn't sleep. He was coughing, and was only running on like 2 hours of sleep a night. And so we just quick pulled his HTMA, and it was like it just painted the whole picture of how his minerals were imbalanced, and how just the onset of like allergy, you know, head cold type symptoms came on, and why he was like, oh, Claritin, or what was it? I don't know, Zyrtec or something was helping him every day. And I was like, well, that makes sense, you know? So everything has a reason. Everything has a root cause. This is why I can comfortably sit here and say, I don't believe in autoimmune disease. I don't believe in Hashimoto's. I don't even really believe in like thyroid illness, the term. Like I said, I think the thyroid is a victim, and I think that that's just a blanket term that we've put on it, and everyone thinks it's the actual thyroid, and it's just not. There's so much more going on. So like I was saying at the beginning of this month, I was just like doing my thing, working, helping people like I do. And I had a message in my meditation and my journaling in the morning come through to me that I needed to offer my program at a lower price and at an extended payment plan. That there were a lot of people that wanted to work with me, but the way I had it financially structured, it wasn't obtainable. And I was like, huh. So that's why I started launching my summer sale, and now I have a 12-month payment plan of $197 a month, and you get the hair tissue mineral analysis test included, full diet, thyroid-friendly diet reset. We get down to, your root causes to see, like, what the hell is going on. And we start rebuilding you. And we rebuild your body, we rebuild your diet, we rebuild your supplements, put you on all the right things that you actually need, give you some guidance and direction on that. And most importantly, we rebuild you spiritually and mentally. And one of the things that I really like to empower you guys on is how to handle your doctor's appointments, because there's so much bullshit when it comes to the doctors and what they say and what they feed you, and even what they tell you about your test results, and it's just unfair. So I should probably jump off because I've been live for an hour now. So I know you guys got to run and get to work. And I actually need to go see if my kids are awake. I've been sitting outside for an hour, just like, bye guys. No, I'm kidding. They're fine. They're probably still sleeping. But Jess, I would love to do a celery juice challenge. That would be super fun. What do you think? So let's brainstorm on that. What would be more accessible for everyone? I do have my group still. I have my Instagram private group. So we could do it back in there, or we could do it here on the main page, or we could do it, you think, back in the private group, or we could do it on a Zoom. I could do weekly Zoom call check-ins. They all are fine for me. I guess I could kick back up the group, huh? I haven't done that in a while. That would be fun. Yeah, we should do that. Now I gotta start thinking about that. I'm like, ooh. So thank you everyone for joining. Is anyone else excited over the idea of doing a celery juice challenge? I'm curious. Is anyone in here currently celery juicing, or have you ever tried? I know there's a little bit of delay. Jess says, yes, Zoom or private. That way we're liable and can talk. Yeah, exactly. That's why I know. Exactly. That's why I made the group, so we could be more intimate without it being so super public. NW says thumbs up. Thumbs up to doing a challenge. You're down? Or do you already juice? Either way, that's awesome. I'll take it. Rebecca, I stopped because my doc said to. Tell me more about that. Why would a doctor advise against that? Why? Because it actually heals you. They don't want you better. They just want to keep you sick. I mean, there's got to be like misunderstanding around that. That's the only way I can look at it. Okay, so my group is at Coach Your Joy 143. At Coach Your Joy 143. I can link that out in my bio. Rebecca said her doctor said it'll detox the Thyroid out of my system. Okay. And that's bad. Why? You guys, you don't want medication building up in your liver. That just creates a slow, stagnant, sluggish liver, which leads into weight gain and weight troubles, And Rebecca, that's your call. It's not my place to, we have so much medication in our liver, you guys. It's insane. Like, did you guys know that we absorb pharmaceuticals just from our tap water when we take a bath? There's so much pharmaceuticals just like in our environment. Yeah, just as I'd be happy to give my liver some time off. Yeah, right? Yeah, I mean, I remember when I read a passage, and it said if you took your liver and wrung it out, like you could wring out like whole drops of pills, pharmaceuticals from your liver. Pharmaceuticals in our liver also exacerbate pathogen infections. Look at that. Your intuition knew. That's the other thing that I really want to teach you guys is, it said paused, is to really start knowing, believing, and trusting your intuitions. Us women, you guys, we are extremely powerful spiritual beings. And I know from my own experience that we have more spiritual gifts, the womankind. We have more spiritual gifts than, I guess you could say, guys do. And hi Laura, thank you for joining. Women's intuition is powerful, and a lot of us, I feel like, have lost touch with our intuition, or we've stopped listening to it, or we've stopped trusting it. And we got to get back to believing ourselves and following that intuition. It's there for a reason. And it's, from my experience, it's never wrong. And you can always trust it, and you need to trust it. And it's also like, I feel like, tell me if you guys agree, but I feel like my intuition is like a warning system at times. It's like a warning, or like a guidance system. I mean, obviously a guidance system, but a warning. So if you are in that situation, I know she is not a thyroid expert. Yeah. Right. Exactly. So if that was your first instinct, then yeah, you definitely need to follow that. Jess says, I also when I started with you, my liver was at 79, and doing this lifestyle, I went down to a 43 in my fatty liver. I love that. Congratulations, hon. That's amazing. Still working on it, but yes, our livers need help. Yeah, seriously. You know, and that's why I get so sad when I see girls just on the treadmill, just freaking killing themselves. And like, I love working out. Don't get me wrong. Like, working out is important, but there's like that point where you're just so overworking out because you're just like trying everything you can to lose weight, you know. And I get those messages like, I'm trying everything I can to lose weight and I just can't lose weight. And it's like, well, have you even started to address your liver and your liver function? Like, what are you doing? That's why if you look, was it a couple of days ago? Or shit, was it on my email? I don't remember. I'm like, you guys need to stop, dude, with this like diet term. Like, you gotta rewire your brain when it comes to like, I need to detox, not diet. Like, I just take the word diet out of like, oh, I gotta lose weight, I gotta go on a diet. Technically, you know, a diet is like, we're all on a diet, because a diet just describes how we eat or what we eat, right? You know, it's like, I need to do a detox. And so a 30-day celery juice challenge would absolutely be a great detox. Jess, by the way, I got your HTMA results. I'm gonna mail you out today. And I love that message too, because 43 is my favorite number, or 143, 43, because it means love you. The 1 is I, the 4 is love, and the 3 is you. So, I love that. All right, I'm gonna go. You're welcome. I'm gonna go check on my munchkins, and now you got my wheels turning on a Celebrate Challenge, my group. So much fun stuff to do. I should probably film some videos, some introductory videos, make it a little easier so I can email them out so you guys can just have them to watch like on your own time and learn all the fun Celery Juice videos. Okay. All right. Mwah. Thank you all for joining. Thank you for being here, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.